How's it going, Bullet World? It's time for another one of Papa Pit's tips, and I think today's tip is probably one of the most important tips you're going to get as far as aiding your kennel along and taking care of your animals. It's the most common problem and the one that can have the most lethal effect when it comes to puppies and older dogs. Today's topic is going to be based on diarrhea, how the symptoms we have to look for, the treatments, and the actions we need to take in caring for these animals. There's several things you can do when you have diarrhea with animals, but let's start off with talking about it. You know, it's not one of the things where whether you're going to get it or not, it's going to happen. And anybody that has a kennel knows that you're destined to have a bout with diarrhea with your dogs. And there's many causes and symptoms. Some of the symptoms that are cause of it is dogs eating junk. For example, they'll eat sticks, grass, rocks, anything under the sun, from plastic to rubber bands, you name it, they'll eat it. And the same thing happens with puppies and older dogs, especially in puppies, because they're very inquisitive and they're searching out their environment and exploring. So anytime you have puppies on the ground, it's very important that you put them in an area where there's not a lot of debris or stuff that they can pick up, chew, and eat and get in trouble later on. It's a real important subject as far as caring for puppies. And sometimes we misinterpret constipation in a dog for that's not what it is. It's not constipation. It's actually the dog straining, and he'll hunch his back as he's relieving himself, or even after he's done, he'll stay hunched, and that's a sign of diarrhea as well. For the fact of the matter that he's trying to pass something that's not there no more, but yet his stomach's telling him to clear his GI tract out. So some of the symptoms are you're going to have anything from fever, loss of appetite, lethargic, constantly looking to go to the bathroom, the obvious one, and also the runny diarrhea, watery diarrhea. Those are the things that are going to be the most common that you're going to see. But it can be fooling if you're not watching it and seeing what these animals are doing. In the case of them getting diarrhea and a healthy dog, a lot of times you do is you remove their food for a period of 12 hours. Don't remove water, because water is very important when they have diarrhea. It's remove their food. And when you reintroduce food back again, put them on a bland diet. And what I mean by bland diet is not what they used to do in the old days, where they would tell you to get your dog and put them on ground beef and rice. Come to find out, the ground beef is too heavy in oil and grease, and that's not good for the valve when they're having problems, their stomachs. The other thing is rice, being that it's a complex carbohydrate, will start to ferment and give them a lot of gas. So one of the things that we do now is we go ground turkey, cooked ground turkey, and pumpkin. Pumpkin is it's very effective on that. The turkey is bland. Don't add no seasoning, nothing. Just cook the ground turkey. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a mixture of 50% turkey and 50% pumpkin. And you're going to feed this for a period of 3 days, and then slowly introduce back to their kibble. If that doesn't alleviate the problem, you might want to see your vet. But also remember, anytime you feel that you're in question of this stuff, go to your vet immediately. These are only helpful tips if your dog is not debilitated or so lethargic that you're not moving around, or if you see blood in his stools or constantly running, then you need to get that dog to a vet immediately. That's the most important thing, is getting the care for this animal. One of the other products we like to use is slippery elm bark. Run down to your local health food store and you'll find us on their shelves. I prefer the powder form because it's easier to store and I don't have to worry about spilling it or losing it. And it's very simple to mix. You're gonna blend in 1 teaspoon of slippery elm bark with a half a cup of water. Once you make that mixture, it's gonna be real viscous. It's gonna be pretty thick. You're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon to every 10 pounds of body weight with the meal. And it's very important that you get that correct. And there's a lot of more information on this online. So if you want to know more about slippery elm bark and some of the other symptoms that it helps with, but this is basically like Mother Nature's Pepto-Bismol. It helps slow down that diarrhea. Again, it's a real good product, and it's all natural. It's all natural based materials so it doesn't hurt the dogs, and you have to worry about any other side effects happening with it. So, but then again, you want to make sure that you follow directions, because like any medicine, too much is not good and too little isn't good. So do your research on the slippery elm bark. But it's one of the things that we add to the diet when they're having diarrhea. I can't emphasize enough going to the vet if there's issues or problems with a puppy that has diarrhea or an older dog. For the fact of the matter is that it will take them out immediately. It can be very lethal once they get about with diarrhea when they're either very young puppies or old dogs. So it's one of those things that use your best discretion, and don't wait, don't hesitate, because it may be too late. Puppies are very susceptible. One bout of diarrhea on a puppy can kill him. I don't need to tell you that. If you've been around puppies long enough, you'll see this. It's that serious with puppies. So it's good product to have on your shelves, ready to go in case you have those little emergencies and those things that you need to handle right away. This is a good way to go, and it's right there for you to go. You can go to the local supermarket and pick up the pumpkin, and if you don't get pumpkin, you can use yams as well, sweet potato. But make sure that it's not sweet potato and syrup. You want the puree, all 100% natural. This is the tip that I hope it helps you guys. Looking forward to seeing you again, and hopefully we'll get some more tips out there. Sorry for being a little late on this next tip that we had. We've been having some bad weather. We finally got a beautiful day, so we're out here presenting our next tip. So again, Papa Pit TV, please subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you at the next show.